That is the pramati. If the mind is not, if the manas is not looked into or trained, anything can make it children. Now, yesterday we were discussing that life or situations don't make up, situations or people or conditions don't determine your joy or sorrow. It is what you think of it. It is the complexion of your thoughts towards the situation. One situation can churn somebody's mind, make him so restless. Another person is waiting for the same situation. He derives enthusiasm from it. Derives strength from it. Which means a situation is powerless. A person, an object, a condition is powerless. It has no power to trouble you. The world, in other words, has zero power to trouble you. It's the first lesson and the last lesson that we need to learn. Anything outside has no power to trouble. It is what we make of it that has the power to cause trauma or conversely to bring energy. You know, we do this with children. With little children, how do you make them eat food? How do you make them do their homework? For the mother, it's a tedious thing, but for the child, you don't want the child to feel it's a tedious job. How do you make them take a bath? Little children. Everything is turned into a game. What does the parent do, or what does a good teacher do? Makes the child see a picnic there. Makes the child see something, brings in some Mickey Mouse, brings in a fantasy land, brings in a story, brings in a teddy bear. Correct? A tedious, what is routine, you have to make them eat every day. And children, to bathe or to eat or then to even to dress them up to get them ready. What do? The whole scenario is changed. So what they see, they don't see that, that they're eating. What they see is actually fantasy land. They see fairies. They see Mickey Mouse. Are you understanding? And in the bargain, the work is done for us faster. Is it not? That's the technique. That's the way. But we lose it later on in life. We get into a seriousness. It even continues sometimes till teenage. Teenagers live in their fantasy life. The drudgery goes away. That is why they are not so stressed. The work gets done. They still go, they study, they have results, they have exams, but they are all in their group, they are in a fantasy time, isn't it? They are in their own world, which is what sometimes adults don't like. So then you tell them, why don't you live in the reality of the situation? The moment you live in the reality of the situation, you will be like a country life. The highest suicide rates, the highest stress in students is Japan, because everything is so serious. They are very good students. The commitment is extremely high. But so are the stress levels, because your thoughts are equal to the tediousness of the job. Are you able to see? It is equal to that, and thoughts cannot take it. They will drain the body. So the stress becomes so much, they don't want to continue. The stress levels in children, it will start if we stop. That is why if you notice all these modern self-help books, you know what they tell you? Follow your dream. Have you heard that? Follow your dream. You must imagine. You must do this, you must. Another thing that we used to say in the olden days, simple living and high thinking. You heard that?
So many times.
What there is a tool there which has to be used to help yourself against this pramati. Lord Krishna doesn't give the tools. He just says with practice it will work. But the tools are there in other portions, in the scriptures. You don't bring your thoughts down ever to the tediousness of a job because routine life is tedious. You can't help it. You have to do everything every day. You have to cook 3 times a day, isn't it? It's a job. You have to clean your home, you have to bathe, you have to work, you have to keep your... It's tedious. Your thoughts can't be. Sometimes it's not just tedious, there is crisis. And that was portrayed in a very beautiful book. Later on it was made into about this Nazi persecution. And the father is a Jew who has a young son. 4 or 5-year-old son. And then this father and son are separated from the mother because they are both taken to concentration camps. You can imagine the stress. The father knows it is death in a concentration camp. 5-year-old son. He doesn't want his son to know what is happening. The mother is somewhere else. He doesn't want to. The child asks, "Where is my mother?" The father is so clear he doesn't want the child to feel the trauma. He creates a game out of the whole thing. He says, "We're playing a game and you're going to get points. The longer you can, the longer you can stay away." And then he creates, so people are with guns. He creates a game. Just so that the son doesn't sense the gravity of the situation, which means he doesn't bring the thoughts into his son. As far as he is concerned, he is already playing a game with his son. There is no food. They have to survive on all kinds of whatever is given to them. How are you going to tell a 5-year-old son? It's a brilliant picture of how to keep your thoughts aloof from the reality. You deal with the reality. That's what the father did. He protected himself. He told the son how to protect himself. And then the son was set free, the mother was set free, the father was killed. And yet those two didn't suffer the trauma. The child didn't suffer the trauma because of the ingenuity of the father. Therefore, what should we do now? How do we take our routines? How do we take our problems which churn us all the time? Then things keep popping us. What do you do? How will you help yourself? Am I suggesting you live in a fantasy land? What do you do? You tell me, what do you do? How are you going to keep your thoughts away from the drudgery? Think it's your life, you have to do something. Otherwise your thoughts remain at that level. I have to do this, I have to do that. Pressures, conflict, and then strain. And we spoke yesterday about these pet thoughts, Each one of us has. Oh, so much more. I am so busy. That's another pet thought. I have no time. A pet thought. I have no time. What will happen? Another pet thought. What will happen? I don't know. क्या होगा? How do you deal?
You simply take each moment as it comes. You split. And you learn from the past that very commonly it is said.
All that you have is now. It's true. We don't understand the value of this moment. We don't understand. Suppose you say, I have lot of work. When is the lot of work? Future. It's future. I am so busy. Future. All you have is now. all you have. You don't know what's going to happen the next moment. Are we really living in the now is the question. Or are my pet thoughts taking over? Even the now is drained away. Why? I got so much work. So nobody enjoys the now. Nobody really lives. We are only actually being pushed from this human being appears to be like a football game. He's pushed from one experience to another, literally thrown. And he has to deal with it. And nobody holds on to the now. What is the experience of the now? So I am comfortable. My mind is calm. It is peaceful. And the parrot also is happy. Correct? There is a joy there. The parrot is doing what it has to do. We are doing what we have to do. We are comfortable physically, we are comfortable mentally. We are performing an action of receiving, gaining knowledge. What a joy. If you don't register it, then you focus on it. So you have to bring your focus on it. Never mind the work, never mind what you have to do. Then you have to go back home. Do every moment, live in what is now. Because that's all you have. The truth of life is, all you have is now. All your life, all you have is now. Even if you are planning for the future, you are planning now, isn't it? So plan. Enjoy that work. Let oddity sit down. When you do that, you invoke a quiet mind. When you are aware of the now. That's a quiet mind. An awareful, watchful mind. Which means I learn to savor every moment. I don't let moments pass. Because life is unpredictable. We think everything is going to be fine before 80 years, 90 years. We don't know. Even if you live, in what conditions you live, we don't know. Now is what I have in my hand. It's so amazing. We don't enjoy the now. And even when death is approaching, we don't even want to die. We want to, prolong the time to this. What is this life all about? We don't enjoy this. We don't even enjoy the process of letting go. All right, we die. Die means what dies? The body dies. Clean. And then what is the use of all this sophisticated thinking we have? The capacity to enjoy. When is that capacity to enjoy used? Do you have to go out for a picnic to enjoy? Do you have to go out for a dinner and dance and movie to enjoy? What do you do the rest of the time? Or the rest of the time is drudgery? That's not what our sophisticated thinking is meant to. If we are so smart and intelligent, we have to recognize the joy. If not the joy, let us not use the word joy, the peace of the moment. No matter what conditions you are in, you can find peace if you just register in the moment. When you get into bed at night, you just get into bed, you're going to sleep. What a joy it is. Have you ever realized? Blessed that joy of having a bed. A lot of people don't have. The joy of quilt, that is joy. What a joy. Just register. What a joy in taking a warm bath on a cold day. It's an everyday joy, but we don't register in a hurry. I have to go. Is it not? Then we buy objects of joy. We think, so you buy a nice soap, which you like, which you should enjoy. But do you really enjoy the fragrance of that? There's no time. Children do it. They really enjoy their bath. Even there the mother will come and hurry up, let go. They make bubbles. remember, the work is going to go on. You will have to work till you drop dead. At least in your thought you can make it lighter. That's your ingenuity. That's your intelligence. That's your awareness.
Mindfully.
Just enjoying the moment. What are you doing now? Am I really register the awareness that I'm alive? To be alive is such a big thing. That itself we take it for granted. Till you are told you have 6 months to live. Then you will think, oh, I have to do so much. Is it not? We don't realize just to be alive is such a blessing. How many people tell me I'm really happy just to be alive? We don't register that. We don't register. Because we are so busy running somewhere or the other, doing something or the other. When the wind blows, do you enjoy the breeze? You can enjoy all that if you live in the moment. It's an exercise. That exercise invokes the quiet mind. That exercise prevents you from this constant journey. Because the world is, the nature of the world is a teacher. Provocations will be there, work will be there, everything will be there, but all will be over. Don't lose your life for that. A moment lost is, your life has passed you by. Isn't it? That now is Brahman, is Ishvara. That now, registering the now, is worship of Ishvara. Just the joy, the thanks for the now. I have this. I'm complete. I'm fine. I have too much to be thankful for. That itself is worship of Ishvara. That is recognition of Brahman. Never mind everything else. People, objects. I'm alive. I'm breathing. I have prana. It's working. It becomes an exercise we have to do. Consciously, you have to bring it up. You find consciously you bring it up. You know, the creases on your forehead will have an iron forehead. Wrinkles on your face, because your face shows what you're thinking. First, so he says here, the mind is pramati, then balavat. It's very strong. It can get very strong if this awareness, if this relaxed awareness is not there. How does the mind gather strength? So thoughts that go unchecked thoughts gather strength. Now here, another thing you have to recognize, a lot of our thoughts that we have, a lot of our prejudices, a lot of our mannerisms, we have picked up in childhood. Then there was no scope of checking. In childhood, you just follow what everybody does, what everybody says, isn't it? Your hopes, your fears, your anxiety, even your anger. So we like to imitate. The way my father, grandfather got angry, when I see that, I want to imitate. Is it not? Most of us are doing that. We are replicas of what we have seen. That's how we are. Or if not father, grandfather, you will learn from the television, if it was there in your television. Somewhere you pick up. Correct? This has gone unchecked in childhood because there was no scope of checking. You have to check it now. You have to recognize, I have picked up this trait for what? Is it a valuable trait? Where from have I picked it up? Do I really want it? All this you have to question. And slowly erase it. Because most of us are habitual thinkers. Habitual, we behave, we react habitually. That has to be tackled now. All that can be done with an awareness. After the anger is over, just pause and think, where from I picked up that? What is the trigger? Who am I behaving like? Why am I behaving this way? Is this behavior helpful? Is it valuable? Do I want to keep it? All this you will analyze. And then you will realize, somewhere down the line, you picked it up, you will find the source where you picked it. And generally that source is an object of respect. That source must be grandmother, grandfather, mother, father, you behave like that. They are wonderful people. But you don't, each one has weaknesses. You can pick up the best things. You need not pick up their weaknesses, so you erase it. We have to do this as a conscious exercise. Has to be done. Regularly has to be done. Whenever you are disturbed, there is an irritation going on. Then you prevent this